Hey guys, welcome back to another StarCraft 2 cast. This is Sober Ninja. I'll be bringing you a 1 versus 1. This will be of myself, actually in player cam view, so you will see my slow APM usage, just a little bit of my Terran play, kind of a tutorial, what I'm thinking when I'm playing, and I had a comment earlier today saying it'd be cool if they could see my abilities or whatever. I do have a couple on my channel, but they are older of me playing Protoss. And so I thought I'd post this game. I played it, I think, in the last day or two. If I remember correctly, it was a pretty good game. It could be the wrong game. And I just showed kind of how Terran is I don't know, how I want to play with Terran all the time. But I usually don't. So let's get down to it. This is myself, Sober Ninja, the red Terran player. The bottom side here, Metalopolis. My opponent is going to be EMAT Kyle, the blue Zerg. And I do not know where he is yet. Actually, I think I know where he is, but, I mean, yeah. Don't know where he is yet in the replay. So, I am sending out that scout after Supply Depot to make sure that he's not quick expanding, which most of the time, Zerg players are quick expanding. And I choose not to wall in. And a lot of Terran players, even in the higher leagues, I've been playing as Terran the last, week, and every time I get in a TVT, the other Terran player walls in against me. And I'm like, why do you do this? Why? What is your thought process on walling in against another Terran player? I'm not going to 6-pool you. I can't do that. I don't get it. I don't know what it is. So I've been trying not to wall off against any race recently unless I really have a bad feeling when the game starts that, okay, I'm going to get 6-pooled or something. But you never really see many pro-level players walling in, especially against Terran or Protoss when they're Terran. It's usually only Zerg that you'll see any kind of wall-in from Protoss and Terran players. So try not to do that. Straying away from that. Going to rely on getting units out and scouting my opponent to know if I need to wall in or not. Now obviously I wouldn't have known if 6-pool was coming until it was too late, but I could have lifted off that barracks when it was done, or just built a couple supply depots in front to deal with that. So not a big deal there. My Marine is going to come out, push that drone out. He did see my 2 Raxes though, so he should be expecting early pressure from that. Seeing that gas a little bit late, should be expecting some Marines from me, which is what I'm planning on doing. If we look at the harvester count, we are even right now. I will be going for a 3rd Rax as well. The spawning pool for my opponent is almost up, and his hatchery is just now finishing at his expansion. So that hatchery and spawning pool finishing almost identical times. And I do have quite a bit of money here. And don't get on my case yet. I was supply blocked, realizing I was about to be supply blocked. So throwing down that supply depot a little bit late. And I'm actually going to be very supply blocked here. I was debating on whether or not I should use my orbital command, but I didn't have enough energy to anyways. So I get these first 3 Marines out, thinking that, okay, I'm probably not going to see a whole bunch of units too early from the Zerg player. He did take that fast expansion. He should be getting Zergling speed. In my mind is what I think most Zerg players are going to do. I send another SEV in there actually. See the couple of Zerglings, only 4. The expansion is up, and I try to run in here to see the gases to see if he might be going roaches at some point. Get killed, obviously. Zerglings are faster than probes and SEVs and drones on creeps, so that was a bad move on my part. I actually have 3 SEVs queued up right there. I do have quite a bit of minerals, but I should be using those up pretty fast. And this is kind of an alteration of a normal 3 Rax. Most people think of a 3 Rax as 2 tech labs and 1 reactor. I'm going 2 reactors and 1 tech lab at this point because I'm not expecting roaches. I'm expecting more Zerglings, possibly Banelings, to deal with the army composition that I have. Most of the time you'll see Zerg players adjust to what you're going to counter it. So I'm thinking, okay, he could go roaches because they are very good against Marines, but you know, if he does do that, I should have enough units, enough time to get other units out to protect myself, maybe get some bunkers up, so I should be okay. So I throw that scan down right there, and that's what's going to tell me. That's about the 6.5 minute mark. I want to see if there's roaches. And obviously I don't know, he could have put it at the expansion, but most of the time you'll see Zerg players put all of their buildings in the main. They don't really hide them very much, which I want to see more Zerg players hiding their tech. So I decide of what I saw, those non-upgraded Zerglings coming into my main, I saw those, killed off a couple of them, and I decided, okay, I'm going to push and expand. because I don't want to get too far behind. So at the 7-minute mark is when my attack hits. He does have speed now, though, and this one Marauder, I have a single Marauder. I think he has slow upgrade, but I'm not sure. So just a little bit of scoot and shoot, not the greatest scoot and shoot micro here, but not losing any units yet. Look at the units lost. I've still only lost an SCV. Try to throw a spine crawler up, causing the cancel. I'm not sure if that was a cancel or a kill. And going for the economy right here, just trying to take out as many drones as I possibly can. If you look at the units lost, still I've only lost one ICV. There goes a Marine, and I'm probably going to lose the rest of these. But all I want to do is take out this expansion. It's worth it to me to take out the expansion. So I do go back home to macro up a little bit. Lost a couple more Marines. He does have a lot of Zerglings coming out right now, and actually coming at me with these Broodlings, backing myself into a corner. Want to get into a choke with these Marines because I will be able to do more damage. And I have a terrible misclick here. These Banelings coming out, and I just run straight into them, losing every single Marine. Those hero Banelings just killed me so fast. So I'm actually a little bit worried right now, but I know that I did the damage I needed to do. I took out the economy. I took out some drones. If we actually let's use that. Let's use that little guy right here. The units killed and workers killed. I do like this tab. So I've killed 7. He's killed 1 of mine. So 7-1, and I took out an expansion. It's a $400 investment from him. I also killed 44 units, which is mainly Zerglings. But if we look at the units lost up to the left, it's 875 units lost for me and 1950 for him. So he's definitely at a deficit right now. I decided to put my bunker on the low ground because I do want to expand right now. I feel comfortable enough with the amount of Marines that I have. But I am worried about Banelings because I am not very good at microing against Banelings. I know that, so I want to have units that are going to work towards my strengths, I guess. So I decided to throw down 2 factories right here, getting the tech labs, and I want to start pumping tanks off this 2 base with Marine backup. So just Marine siege tank, pretty standard for a Terran player. But the thing is that he is now expanding again. His hatchery isn't up yet. It's almost up. He had a slight economic advantage on me for a little while, but if we look at the income, he has more harvesters than me, but the income is still equal. I'm a little bit ahead here. Getting more SCVs, pumping out a few more. He's going to be running in a Zergling right there. So very good play by him. Very smart to run in a couple of Zerglings every once in a while at any player you're playing just to see what they have. It's the best way for Zerg to scout without losing very expensive units such as Overlords. So calling down 3 mules right there, my income is going to skyrocket for the next, I don't know, 50 seconds. I'm not sure how long mules last, but there it goes, up to 1,200 for a little bit right there. So it will be going back up and down depending on how many mules I have. Actually 1,500, so I'm doubling him at this point with less harvesters because of those mules in that second base. His second is now up, and he is droning pretty hard. It's 38 to 31, and I really don't know this yet. So if we look at the production tab, I'm getting that second bunker down there. I actually called down a supply drop because I was tired of having to build supply depots. Could have used that for a mule, but I'm like, okay, I have 3 mules right now. I got plenty of money at this point. Want to focus on that gas, getting those heavier tech units out. So we do look. I'm still producing, obviously, Marine siege tanks, getting siege tech, stim, all of that good stuff, and he's getting pathogen glands. So he is getting 2 infestors right now, which is very good on his part by getting these infestors, because with the new buff, they're good against armored and, you know, Marines and everything else. So they are very much more applicable in normal play. So I do throw it on a scan on the main because I want to see what tech he's on. So I see the lair and I see the infestation pit jiggling around up there, so I know he's getting some sort of upgrade. And my best guess is that it's going to be those, I think it's pathogen glands. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure. Let me know if I'm wrong. I probably am wrong. But anyways, I do see that, and I'm saying, okay, siege tanks are going to be pretty good against this at this point. Unless he's getting Neuroparasite, which I don't believe he's going to be getting Neuroparasite at 13 minutes when I just took out an expansion a couple minutes ago. So I do decide to throw down my third. Want to stay ahead of the Zerg player, actually, in economy, while getting units at the same time, which is usually not how I play. I usually, mostly when I first started playing Terran, I like to turtle. And I noticed a lot of Terran players like to turtle, and that's what I was talking about in the beginning, where you see a lot of Terran players. I mean, I'm in gold, and I remember, I think it was maybe 2 days ago, I played another Terran player who was like the top 8 in his gold division. He still walled off against me, and then he 3-raxed me, and I crushed it and beat him because I had like 2 siege tanks. So stop Stop doing it, Terran guys. You need to stop it. Everyone hates Terran. You know, I used to hate Terran. Siege tanks are terrible. People who wall in suck. All of that kind of stuff. But that's not all the Terran players out there. It's obviously one tactic, and I do love the siege tank play. It's very good, but there obviously are ways to counter it. If you watch some of the higher level play from professional players out there. So we do see the centrifugal, I like saying centrifugal, so that's what I'm going to go with. Centrifugal hooks on the way. I'm producing 5 Marines at a time as well as 2 siege tanks. I'm getting that combat shield, and I will be pushing out right here while this combat shield is about to finish and landing this expansion on over here, jumping on back to my units. My combat shields has now completed, and I want to move out right here. Gonna unload these bunkers, and I think about salvaging them right there for a second, and I decide against it because I realize that, okay, if my attack fails and he's got something crazy going on, by the way, he's upgrading to hive tech right now, so, and getting 10 roaches. He does see my army, so he's very good. He's not producing more units than he needs to. I guess he's droning maybe too hard, actually. I do get the stim down. Siege tanks blasting that away in just half a second. I just have so many tanks. The Baneling's barely even getting a chance with that fungal growth right there. That fungal growth right there was key for him. Very, very good fungal growth on his part. Wasn't enough because I did have that combat shield upgrade, which I'm very glad I waited to move out because of that. If we look, these Marines have like 9 HP each. So all of these would have died actually with that stim. They all should be dead right now, and he actually could have maybe held that off if I didn't have that combat shield. So very lucky, I guess, on my part for getting that combat shield, realizing that he was going for infestors and that I needed that extra HP buff in order to survive. So I'm going to throw a scan there, just kind of trying to recede the creep as much as I can. The hive for him is now finished. So we got a pretty quick hive. It's 17 minutes into the game. I decide I have way too much money at this point. I need to start macroing because that's the thing I need to focus on the most is macroing while trying to attack an enemy. Gonna scan up top, check for units on the high ground, and if we look at his base, he has a Hydralisk, no Hydralisk. His queen's gonna go down, and I'm gonna siege up right here. I want to focus fire this infestor. He does actually get the fungal growth off in time to take out a couple of my units to do some damage, but it was just too much for him at this point with the amount of units that I had. Calling GG. Good game played. I did like his strategy. He was a good Zerg player in my opinion. Definitely utilizing the Zerg arsenal. I don't know. He didn't overreact for the most part. He may have actually underreacted, which might have been his problem. But he had so many drones. He spent time droning up, knowing that he needs to get his macro back up. And the problem is that that timing push that I had in the very beginning of that game, not the very beginning, but I guess 7 minutes when I tried to expand and push out with some Marines to just do a little bit of damage, I ended up taking out that expansion and taking advantage of that and expanding myself at the same time. I was able to stay on the same amount of bases, and a Zerg player needs to stay ahead. So for Terran players who are struggling, stop walling in right here with your 2 supply depots and your barracks. You know, I do it sometimes too, but only when I'm very afraid of a 6 pool. Usually right after it's happened to me. The next game I play, I'll wall in like that. But avoiding that and be open to expanding within the first 10 minutes. Getting a pretty quick expansion, getting a good sizable amount, putting on some early pressure too. That's what allows me to do this. If you don't put on that early pressure to the expansion of the Zerg player or even their main, you will not be able to expand because they will have so many bases. I mean, if I hadn't put that pressure on, he could have gotten a 3rd or maybe even a 4th, probably just a 3rd though. At our level of play, this SCV is madly repairing these units. So, hope you guys did enjoy this, and Terran players stop walling off. Because it annoys me too. It's like TVT, you're going to wall off and get siege tanks. Like, okay, I'm going battle cruiser. That's my new game plan in TVT. I'm going to 3 racks, and if that doesn't work because I get siege tanks and wall off, I go straight to battle cruisers or a whole bunch of banshees. So, yeah, look out, Terran guys, because I'm coming for you. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you liked this kind of cast, the first person, you can make fun of me about how crappy I am. Let me know in the comments. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this. I would really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you guys at the next cast. Thanks for watching.